Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be painting on this black canvas. Now I pre-coated it with gesso first and then painted it black. That's how I got this look. Now the reason why I wanted it black is because I'm going to be painting something that is white. So I wanted it to stand out, and that goes for a lot of people. If you want something to stand out, paint your canvas black. So I'm probably going to time lapse this video for you guys because it might take a little bit. Hopefully not too long. And we'll go from there. So let's get started. Okay guys, so to start with, I forgot to tell you what kind of acrylic paint I am using. The paint I am using, I believe it's pronounced Garbasher. If that's not right, then feel free to correct me in the comments. Garbasher paint, I believe. And I do use a little bit of my Winsor & Newton in this, but I'm pretty sure that white is the Garbasher titanium white. And I do have a little bit of burnt sienna, I believe. Here I am just wiping off my brush because I got my lay down of my owl, and here I am widening his head because I didn't like the shape, and it was kind of like cockeyed a little bit. And that's what I love about acrylic paint. Like, if you don't like the shape, you could just change it. You could just add another layer to the lines, outlines. See, like right there, I got his wing going, where his wing sticks out a little bit. I did not like that little bump in the neck because it was in the original picture that I was looking at, but I really didn't like it. So I tried to straighten it out and hide it a little bit, not make it so pronounced, I guess you would say. So I am using a hairdryer on low heat, like no heat at all. It's like cold air blowing out of it technically, to dry my first layer. And now I add a little bit of white to the burnt sienna and go in for the tree that he's standing on. Now in the picture that I was referencing, all you could see was just a stick that he was standing on, and the owl in that picture is a lot bigger than mine. Mine is a little bit smaller because I like smaller owls, but I am just running with ideas of having sticks and limbs and stuff like that. I didn't quite like how the bottom gap turned out, so I ended up painting over that just to cover it up because I really didn't like it. See, ta-da! That's why I love painting, because if you don't like it, you could just cover it up, paint over it. Now I'm here doing the second layer of white, and I'm going to get... Okay guys, sorry about that. I'm back. My son was watching YouTube and it had it really, really loud. So what I was saying is I'm trying to cover up the black showing through. So it's going to be many, many layers of this white. And I am putting glazing medium in it so that I have more time to work with the white that I have put on the palette there, because it seems to dry really, really fast, and I needed a lot of it, so I didn't want to have to keep refilling and refilling. I know it sounds dumb or whatever, but that's how I like to work. So, oops, I messed up a little bit, but hey, that's what black paint is for. And the black paint I used for this was just a regular old 50-cent Walmart paint. I mean, it's black. It didn't have to be special. So I'm not the type of person that has a whole lot of money to be spending on paint, so I did get the $80 Winsor & Newton set off of eBay for like $20. So yeah, if you guys want some paint, look at eBay. It's really good. So here I am drying my second layer, making sure it's good and dry with no heat again, just cold air blowing on it, getting it all done and everything. And I'm trying to go over the darker spots. You can really see it on camera. And I'm just going over just the dark spots, covering it up, trying not to mess up my outline here. And it's just layering and layering and layering. And I could have cut this part out, but I want you to get the full view, an idea of what it takes to do something like this. Like for new people at painting with acrylics, this is how it goes. Like you just can't lay it down and be like, poof, I have a picture. Some people can do that, but no, I wanted it to look really nice. So here I am just adding a smidge of the burnt sienna into my white to give a tint to my snow that I'm going to add onto my tree here. And just a little bit of tint. I don't want it to be the same color of the owl, so I made it just a little bit of a beigey color, I guess. Not really beige, in between white and beige. Off-white, I don't know. I think it turned out really, really good. I do end up adding more snow in the future, but there's a number 3 paintbrush and I'm going in getting the top little brown dots on his head that are in the picture. Like I said, I have a reference photo that I'm following, and my owl looks nothing like the reference photo, but I think it looks cool. Now, don't judge, okay? I suck at making eyes. I really, really do. And that is something I have struggled with in my whole career as a painter. Horrible. But the more I practice, the more I will learn. And I know I used to paint years ago, and just a little info for you guys. When I painted years ago, it was before I had kids, and I used to paint all the time. And every painting that I have done in my past, my husband has saved, and we have them hanging up all over our house. So now that the kids are back in school, I am having more time to paint. And you see there, Winsor & Newton and Gulbosher. But I have more time to paint now, and I'm really, really glad that I'm getting back into it. Like, I really, really missed it. I missed painting. Like, it takes you to a place where you free your mind of all your worries and don't worry about anything. It's so, so relaxing. Enough about that, I guess. You guys don't want to hear about me. Y'all just want to hear about the painting. But I'm just adding in the layers of his feathers, and they're lighter colors, so you have to do like different shadows and all that. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Lighter browns, darker browns, like light it up with a little bit of white, and it gets darker as it goes down his body. So I tried to mimic that and layer in some dark at the top, because in the photo there are some darker feathers. And it doesn't matter what the feathers, what shape they are or anything like that, because with a snow owl, they're kind of like different shapes, kind of like a leopard print type thing, but more not circular. They're just lines, and they're different shapes and different sizes. It didn't really matter how I laid them down, but I did blend a couple together. Yeah, that was all messed up. That was the shadow I was trying to get under his belly. But yeah, some of them did blend together to make one straight line, and here I am adding a layer of shadow behind this wing, because this wing is, the light is coming from the other side of the painting, so I kind of like darkened this up and then refilled in the feathers. And here I am lining that up at the bottom, straighten up my lines. That's what I like about like that. If you mess up, like, just go over it with some white. And here is the shadow for this side of his face. I didn't think that this would take me that long. Like, by the end of the video, I was like, oh my gosh. And you guys will see that towards the end. Like, I could not believe how long it took me to do this. And I guess it's because of all the tiny details, but I really enjoyed it. It was really, really fun. Here I am again, just filling them in. I did start out, I have a tendency to do that. I do like start out having like a pattern, and you can't do that. See, like I did right there. Like, you can't, you have to break it up. There we go. And I'm like, okay, I got this. So you have to break it up. It doesn't have to be a pattern. They do go in a certain direction, but make sure that it's just all over, just different areas. Okay, sorry about that. My kid's homesick today, so I'm having to stop narrating this video and take care of him. But That's what kids are for. They're super fun, and when they're sick, they need their mommy. So, okay, back to this. I'm putting in the inner layer underneath his wing, and I'm getting it a little bit darker because it's in the shadow part. And there's not many down there at the bottom, but I just wanted to put in where you could see the difference between the inside and the outside. Now, the outside of his wing does have a lot more of the brown spots for the end of his feathers, so I did try to get that all in there and make sure that there's like light difference, shadows and all that. You see me doing that now, getting the white and a little bit of the brown. Now I'm doing the part around his beak. This was a little difficult, and I think if I just would have buckled up and got a different brush, I could have achieved what I wanted. But with the brush I was using, I just couldn't get it right. So I went in with the black and went in between the lines to make them more thinner. And it turned out fine. It actually worked, but I need to practice more myself and change brushes. I hate changing brushes for some reason, and I just stick to one brush and go with that. Sorry guys, I'm back. I'm having a really hard time breathing today because I'm on a lot of medication again. This is like my 5th round of antibiotics, and I'm just, I'm so tired of it. But I'm putting in the shadow under his wing there to make it a little bit darker to show that it's tucked under. You know what I mean? Like the sun is hitting on the outside and it's dark on the inside. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do the shadow under his belly. I really am sorry about the breathing thing. I have a blockage in my nose. The CT scan showed that I have a blockage and it's causing me breathing trouble. So hopefully by Monday I will find out what exactly is going on. Hopefully, but yeah, let's get back to the painting. I'm going to lighten up his eyes to make them stand out more, make them more brighter, and then I'm going to line them with black paint, being very, very careful not to mess up the shape and form of them, because I really, really, really don't need that. And I try to be very careful when it comes to fine lines like this and make it all kind of match up. I mean, I know the eyes don't match up, and it's because in the photo I'm looking at, he's kind of tilted a little bit, and one eye, the eye that's further away, is smaller. So that's why I did that, to try to give it a little bit of depth. So I'm going in with my eyeballs and I'm slowly making them bigger and bigger and bigger, trying to get them lined up right, and I think that looks so pretty from here. But at the time I was just fussing about it, so I decided to move on to adding more snow, adding another layer on top of my snow, because I like to obsess about things like eyeballs. So I moved on to something else, and that's perfectly fine to do. Like that will help you get through your painting. I've learned over the years, just don't obsess about it. Move on to something else and then come back to it if you have to. And then it's only then when you realize that you don't really have to. Like, it looks fine the way it is. So don't obsess about it too much. Just go somewhere else and then come back, see? And just straighten up the light side, making it wider, and getting his chest feathers all done and everything. Okay guys, so we're coming to the end of the video, and I would like to say I am so sorry for the sound at the end. Like I said, I can't breathe, so sorry. I almost forgot. I gotta sign it. I'm gonna get a little liner brush, so this will be 4. And I'm going to try and sign it in black. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, here is my winter owl painting all finished. And I really think it turned out really nice. It's the first time I've ever painted a winter owl full body like this. And I'm really glad that I chose the black background, because he's really popping out. And I really do like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please feel free to subscribe and hit that like button. that's it for today, guys. Until next time, bye.